Hello, my fraudster. Welcome to another edition of Let's Talk Fraud. Are you aware that fraudsters have introduced a twist to advance fee fraud? You not? Don't worry, I've got you. That's why we're here today. That is our topic. So if you're ready, I am ready. Let's dig in. Now you would ask, what at all is advance fee? So advance fee is when a seller requests for payment before delivery of a product or before rendering a service. That is payment before delivery of an item or a service. Now, I know the conventional thing that most of us were used to, at least before the pandemic, is to walk to a shop, buy your stuff, pay for it, and then take it home. But with the epidemic or with the pandemic came the increase in online shopping. By the way, it's a very good thing. It's very convenient. And so we definitely are not stopping with our online shopping. But the thing that we should all learn about is, at the end of the day, what the issue has become is some people pay for items or services that are never delivered to them. Products are not delivered after payment, or services are not rendered after payment. And then at the other end, some service providers provide the service or give the item, and they also don't receive their monies. So any of the two parties can become a victim. The seller can be the fraudster or the victim, or the buyer can be the fraudster or the victim. Now, what I would advise and what I always say is, if you can, that is the best recommendation I can give you. If you can go to a shop, go there, pick your item, whatever it is that you want to buy, pay for it, and then you carry your item home. But then we also have to be realistic. Some people are busy, and then some of the things that we want to buy are far from us. So definitely we would have to buy online. And before you buy online, since you cannot go to a shop, I would recommend you do your due diligence. Due diligence is something that is supposed to be done before payment. You have decided to buy the thing. You know what you're buying, who to buy from. You start from there, so you do your due diligence. Don't just start paid money to somebody and then later the item is not delivered. The funny thing is, most people pay for the items or the service without doing the due diligence. And then once they've been defrauded, they go back to do the due diligence. So that is when they will find out that, some people were also talking about how they made payment to this vendor and they didn't get their product. And somehow they find friends who have also made payment to these people. But that is after they have also been defrauded. So I recommend that you do the due diligence before making the payment, not after. Because if it's after, then very little can be done. And so after the due diligence, I would always recommend that you bargain for payment on delivery. Get the item, let it be delivered to you. Then you make payment for it. If the payment can be done before delivery, it can also be done after delivery. So if in the course of doing your due diligence, look out for vendors that would agree to payment on delivery, so that you don't pay money without getting your product or your service. Now, the twist that the fraudsters have introduced, I know I've just told you to bargain for payment on delivery, and there is a new twist. So you can bargain for payment on delivery, but still. Now, what the fraudsters have done is, they've taken screenshots of other people's shops. So they've set up a web page. They are selling things at least to the unsuspecting person. They have shops, they have phone numbers there, and they've displayed it. So when you Google for whatever you want to buy, you would see their website. There's a number there, you call them. Now the thing here is, when you, the buyer, you call this person that I want to buy this thing I saw in online on your shop in your shop. They go to a legit seller. So what this means is there's a legit seller, there's a legit buyer, and then there's the fraudster who is not known to any of these parties. The fraudster is not known to the seller or the buyer. The buyer goes online to search for numbers because they want to buy. They call these numbers, and the fraudster is the one controlling the number. So you place your order. That is the buyer places the order with the seller. This fraudster who is supposed to be the seller. Then the fraudster goes to a legitimate shop online, not physically. They also place your order with the legitimate seller. Give your location and everything, information that you gave them, minus, of course, your phone number. So the fraudster is talking to you, the buyer, and is talking to the seller. So to you, the buyer, the fraudster is the seller, and to the seller, the fraudster is the buyer. So the two, that is the seller and the buyer, the two legitimate parties, don't talk to each other. They are both talking to the fraudsters. Now, after they have made and placed your order, you have agreed with them on payment on delivery. So the item has been given to a delivery person to be delivered to you. Now, when you get the item, you pay the money to them because that is the person you've been talking to. So at the end of the day, the item was delivered, money was paid, but somebody was still defrauded. The buyer has received their package. The seller has parted ways with with their product, but the money went to the fraudster. Now, let me give you an example of something that I witnessed myself. So, in the house that I was staying in, a delivery guy delivered an item in the house. A neighbor, as in somebody, took the item on behalf of the co-tenant in the house. After a while, the delivery guy was still hanging around, and so they went to find out why he's still around, because after delivery, you are supposed to leave. And the delivery guy said he's waiting for the money payment. They called the guy that is the one that made the purchase. And he said, I have paid the money to the seller because I've been on the phone with the seller. So I've sent the money to the seller. But that was not the seller. So the delivery guy said, I work with a shop, and so I was asked to take the money when I come. I'm supposed to take. He said, no, I have paid the thing. I paid the money to the one I was talking to. I don't know anybody else. And truly, he doesn't know anybody else because he's been dealing with somebody. And so that is where the money went to. So at the end of the day, the fraudster still got his money without stressing at all. Just took pictures and then displayed online, and so now the seller is saying, I delivered a product to you and I need my money. And the buyer is also saying, I was dealing with somebody and so I paid the money to that person, and there is proof that the money has been sent, transaction IDs and all that. And so they started calling the person the money was paid to, and guess what? Yes, the number was out of reach. And so I need you to be very careful, even when you ask for payment on delivery, bargain for payment on delivery. When the delivery person comes to your house or to deliver the product to you, wherever the delivery will be done, confirm the payment number. Most of these delivery people work with the shops, and so they know the numbers that payments are supposed to be made to. So confirm the number with the delivery person before making the payment. The fact that you've seen the product or the item doesn't mean you should just go ahead and pay. It can happen to you like it happened to this person that I just spoke about. So you confirm the number for the payment with the delivery person before you go ahead to make the payment. And so that is it for this segment. Let's be cautious out there. By all means, let's enjoy shopping online because it's very convenient, like I stated earlier. But in doing that, do your due diligence. That is, if you cannot go to a shop, going to the shop is the best option. But you are a busy person, so I know you cannot go to the shop every time. And so if you are buying online, do your due diligence. Not after, before. Do your due diligence and then bargain for payment on delivery. Look out for shops that would agree to pay on delivery because most of them will display that they take their payment on delivery. So look out for those ones and then bargain for payment on delivery. And so that is it for today. If you've had, let me know or let us know what your experience has been so far shopping online. If you've had any experience with other fraud cases or with fraud issues in regards to shopping, let's share the experience in the comment section so that we can all learn from it since we are learning together. And then if there's anything, any fraud topic that you want us to discuss, feel free to comment and then we will all discuss it and then maybe make another video about it. Thank you so much for listening and taking time. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, stay safe, stay blessed, and then protect your money. Bye.